Great Text, the Profoundly Stupid, has made another video. So I figured, look, I'm going to watch the damn thing just because I'm curious. So I might as well do a response video. So I'm just going to play parts of it and then I'll respond to them. So I'm a minute and a half, 2 minutes in. You read the poem on the antinatalist video. Pretty good poem, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's a metaphor. It's a poem. I mean, really don't see the point in arguing poems. But his point is that life is just back to this journey crap. And you're not allowed to judge journeys. So if you go on a ride at Disneyland and it just crashes into a brick wall, and you get a broken leg and a black eye, or you happen to jump out of the car just in time and you watch a bunch of other people get a broken leg and a black eye, it would be irrational of you to say, this is a stupid ride, I think they should discontinue it, really dumb. No, you just automatically has to be good. Every movie you ever went to, it was good. It doesn't matter if it sucked. Okay? It was worth making. It was worth the money wasted on it. It was worth it because it's a movie. It's a journey. You have to like it. You can't judge it. I mean, it's just stupid. We know what life is. We know what it costs to be here. What it costs to be here is 4 billion years of living things evolving, at least 500 million years of profoundly sentient organisms eating each other, the skin being ripped off, screaming, yelling, horror. Yes, fornicating, some fun, some penises rubbing on things, really good. Some food now and then. Some of it really pretty crappy actually, just because you're starving is the only way it was worth eating. But yeah, lots of falling off cliffs and broken leg things and diseases and maggots and we don't have to go through the whole thing, do we? Do we really have to document it all? But if you put all of this stuff together, all right, mix it in a bowl, it's going to look like diarrhea, okay? It sucks, all right? Overall, it's fail. It doesn't win, okay? It's not an Oscar, okay? It's not a good movie, and you shouldn't make the second version of it. You should discontinue the stupidity. Yeah, it's really a rational thing to do, idiot. It's not religion. God, he's such an asshole. Alright, continuing. So yeah, he's just ragging on the poem some more. Call it death worship. Saying the poem is completely fixated on the end game. No, the poem is just talking about the nature of the futility, that we just play the same fucking movie over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And the only way the whole thing works is that we drop dead and some new victim arises to take our place. A new tooth rotates in the great white shark's mouth to do its little work, and that it's all quite ludicrously, imbecilically silly, and only a fucked-hearted idiot full of, I don't even know what to say. I'd say fluff for brains, but that's giving it too much dignity. No, you've got dog shit for brains. Could see reason or purpose in an intelligence saying, oh yeah, let's keep making this really bad movie. Let's keep doing it. Yeah, let's make the movie out of little baby elephants with broken legs. Now, this guy is such a little fuckwit. I mean, he keeps blaming it like it's the culture and religion that comes to these conclusions. And it's exactly the opposite, asshole. It's you're the one on the fucking stereotypical jackass pink balloon chasing wonder asshole. You're the one caught in the lie, you jerk. Alright, it's not the antinatalists who have been fucking caught up in their delusions of grandeur and their delusions of their social construct. You're the one fucking owned by the social construct, you idiot. You're the one preaching the dogma, the archaic, old, historical, pro-life dogma. So, yeah, fail. Alright, so this part, I'm at like 3 minutes, 41 seconds. He says, yeah, we'd be willing to accept all this horror and stuff if there was a reason behind it. Yeah, well, that's one of those compensating things, okay? If you're on a stupid ride, alright, a ride that doesn't make intrinsically obvious sense, alright, that doesn't appear to be doing anything good. It's not great scenery out my fucking window. So it's not a joy ride. I'm not joying. Then yeah, the rational thing to do is to figure out, well, maybe there's a reason to endure it because we're going somewhere. You can't get that concept that a destination might justify a stupid fucking journey. But if it's a stupid fucking journey, if it's a journey past little baby elephants with broken legs, yeah, why would I pay money for that? Why would I try to dupe some new victim on getting on that fucking boat? Why would I do that? That would be stupid. Now at 4:26, and all somebody had to say is, I'm Jim and I'm an antinatalist. Yeah, now she's making the argument that somehow there's some sort of duplicity in the statement. You know, whether it is you're saying that, yeah, I want life to no longer exist, or I want it to end, or I don't want to procreate. It's all the same thing. The point is nobody's saying anybody has to die. They're just saying you don't have to, you don't reproduce it. You don't make more Frankensteins. Not a complicated concept. So again, I just say concentrate on the word procreation. All antinatalists are supporting non-procreation. Idiot. So there's no inconsistency. Silly person. Non-perpetuation. Play your little game, satisfy your little addiction, run out your little run of cards, and just don't deal the deck anymore. Okay, so the brilliant gray text, when he's asked the question at 5 minutes, almost, why do we do it? Why do we just keep playing the game over and over and over? And the brilliant gray text answer is, why not? So, I mean, you could explain over and over and over again that it's just an addiction. It's just a heroin addiction. So just say, why not to heroin addiction then, right? Why not? It's just as, yeah, it's good enough. Yeah, that's a satisfactory way to live. You know, just ignore the logic math behind it. Ignore the fact that, yeah, it's better to be safe than sorry. You know, ignore all the cliche statements that could be made in defense of the simple logic that, yeah, don't make a mess, you won't have to clean up a mess. You know, just ignore all of that, okay, and just say something stupid like, why not? Yeah, okay, so, yeah, well, we've given you the why nots. There are all a zillion examples of the why nots, because there's this huge downside liability. There's 4 billion years of evolution, 500 million years of sentient creatures perpetually and endlessly, just one after another, being consumed, being ground up, being used, being abused, being horrifically brutalized. That's the why not. Alright, so the fuck nut is at 6 minutes. His argument, again, back to the why not thing, was basically just asking the question is somehow violating the rules of the game. And then he would ask, well, why not? Why not? Why not? You know, anyway. Yeah, and again, like I said, the reasons have been given to you. If I argue it as a truth, you don't have to believe it, but I believe it, okay, that all perception of positive value in the world is created out of an illusion, out of a perception in our brains, that we're only put in a negative, deprivated state and obliged to think something has value. This bottle has no value except for my perception of the value. My perception of something good that will be accomplished through this thing. And that's it. That's the value as a contrivance inside of me. And it's all these things are just basically cures for some kind of deprivation that exists inside of me. So there's no gain in my satisfaction, because the only way I gain my satisfaction is through a deprivation. You first have to create the hunger before you're going to create any value. And the argument is simple. If you rationally attempt to perceive your existence in a non-hungry state, yeah, there's no point. There's no point in creating the hunger then. There's no hunger to create hunger. There's no need to create need. It's stupid. You just won't get it. So now he just claims here at 6:26 that I am claiming a supernatural creator. Obviously, in my 2000 videos, there's no such thing, no indication of such a thing, merely because I claim to be the product, okay, of an evolutionary process that has created inside of me a toolkit of need and want and desire, mechanisms to control my behavior, to incentivize certain behavior. Because I claim that was something built by a million years or a billion years of evolution, that somehow now I have declared the existence of a God. So this is the perversion, the distortion of the goddamn argument that this piece of fucking shit resorts to, because he can't make a rational argument. He has to just keep... it just has to keep calling people Jeebus. You're being a Jeebus. You're being a Jeebus. You're being a Jeebus. That's all he can say. All he can say is hierarchy and you're being religious. That's it. That's the extent of his fucking argument. Fucking toad. All right, sorry for all this, but anyway, yeah, we just got to the good part where I talk about it being consumption, reproduction, cannibalism, and addiction. So let's see what he says to that. This ought to be good.
You have this motivational mechanism of just an incessant and unyielding desire and want.
Then do something about it as positive. Change it.
Yeah, that's exactly the fucking point. And the easiest, simplest, most direct change to make is just admit it's rubbish. Cannibalism, addiction, consumption, for no fucking reason. And then you're going to say it's okay to reproduce that? Reproduce the cannibalism. Reproduce the fucking addiction. Why would a rational brain do that? Oh, yeah, it wouldn't. That's the fucking point, idiot. So, yeah, fail all over the place with that bullshit answer. Ha ha.
That convincing everybody to die is easy.
See, here again, he just can't be honest to the argument. The argument has nothing to do with convincing everybody to die or kill themselves or somehow prematurely end their existence. The argument is about procreation, asshole. It's about creating, taking responsibility for a new experiment. Okay? A new imposition. It's stopping the imposition, jackass. It has nothing to do with taking anything from any individual except their willingness to impose on a new victim. God, you're so dishonest. Oh, God, this guy is so insufferably stupid. So now I'm making the point, and he just reiterates my own words, which is ironically hilarious, that all value is a matter of perception, okay? It's all an illusion in our fucking head. There's no intrinsic value in the thing we love or we care about or we desire, that it's all just fucking bullshit. It's arbitrary, has been built by no rational standard. This is what he says.
In of itself, it's a perception of it, a desire for it.
Yeah, but what? So if something had value, if it had intrinsic value, then it'd be okay to desire it or want it?
Exactly. That's exactly the point. That's right. If it was a good ride, if it was functional, if it didn't drive things into brick walls, if it didn't break their skull and smash their legs, if it didn't let baby elephants get eaten alive, if it didn't do all these negative fucking things, then it would be worth valuing. Then you could say, yes, that has value. That has merit. Let's keep that here. But if it's all just a perception of value, like the game is worth playing because Great Tech says the game is worth playing, even though he has no rational argument. Yeah, well, that you have to analyze, and you have to say, is that full of shit or what? Is that just an empty perception in his fucking head, or does this thing really producing something? And that makes a huge fucking difference. So yeah, if the little crawly things on planet Earth was actually producing something like comfort, like if they were stroking the cock of some, unicorn somewhere, and it was going, that was really good, thank you, then it might be worth keeping us around. But we're not doing that. We're not accomplishing a motherfucking thing. We're just fucking a bunch of people chasing fake cheese at a huge, giant, preposterously expensive price. All right, gotta play this part.
That matters. This is the only thing that has intrinsic value is consciousness. It doesn't have intrinsic value. It's just a bunch of neurons firing. Forces flowing through this camera. Does the camera have value because it has electrical impulses? No. Then why does a neural phone?
Okay, so again, we're just back to this argument. So why even talk to an asshole who doesn't think sentience is significant? That's basically just what he just said. All right? I mean, he's just saying, I'm no different than my computer. The computer right here is the same as me, okay? It's got little electricity going through it. It's got all this information flying through it. Its welfare is just as important as mine. The fact that I can feel doesn't matter. The fact that the little elephant getting eaten alive can feel doesn't matter. That doesn't have intrinsic value. That's not the thing in the universe that has value. What has value is the fact that it breathes. If it can reproduce, oh yeah, then it's got to keep reproducing because that's what it does. It reproduces. It's a reproducing machine, so it should keep being being a reproducing machine. Computers should never be anything else. They should never evolve into anything else. They should just be computers forever. If you're a reproducing machine, you should be a reproducing machine forever. That's what you are. You're a reproducing machine. You don't have value. Your feelings don't matter. What you feel doesn't matter. The quality of your life doesn't matter. I mean, this is just so fucking stupid. I mean, you don't have to even explain this shit to a 5-year-old. 5-year-olds know what goddamn feelings are. And apparently this fucking genius can't figure the fuck out. Idiot. The only thing that has fucking value, real value, in the fucking universe is a sentient creature. There is no value. Nothing else matters. It's all about how it affects something that can feel. It doesn't matter. This does not matter. If I do that, it doesn't fucking matter because it didn't affect a feeling creature, you dumb fucking cunt. Alright, if it affected a feeling thing, if this was a knife and I stuck it in the fucking eye of an elephant, then it would fucking matter, you stupid shit. Are you too stupid to figure something that logical out? You missed the most important fact in the goddamn universe, and yet you will spout like you're some kind of fucking goddamn, fucktarded Scottish philosopher. You're too stupid. You're too fucking stupid. You're a waste of goddamn time. Yeah, so now the stupid fuck would just basically confirm what I just said, and he said it's a point of disagreement. Yeah, it's the point of disagreement from which there is no recovery. It is opposite ends of the universe. It's inside the black hole outside. It's in Wonderland outside. It's just too fucking opposite for words. It's more of a divergent and fundamental understanding of the mechanics of the universe than actual talking to an actual creationist. I mean, you are further away from me. All right, than Ted Bundy. You're further away from me than Jerry Falwell. You're further away from me than Osama bin Laden or Obama or any. You are as far away from me as you can possibly fucking get. So how can we have a conversation? We don't eat the same thing. We don't breathe the same thing. There's nothing about us that could be anything like the same thing. Because every perception in my fucking brain, every goddamn word, every vocabulary word is somehow connected to the value of sentient creatures. That's the only thing that gives anything, any fucking meaning in my entire brain structure. And you're just saying, it's just neurons. No, it's more than that, asshole. A lot fucking more.
Complete outrageous bias that goes against any reasonable argument.
Yeah, what a joke. So on to part 2. Yeah, so his argument is that when you make this argument that your satisfaction of your desire has less substantive value, okay, your little pleasures, which are basically relieving your deprivation, satisfying a hunger. So you're satisfying a deprivation in you. Okay, and so making the argument that that is superficial compared to suffering, all right, which doesn't satisfy any need, which doesn't serve any purpose, which doesn't do anything. It's just waste. It's just useless, unnecessary harm. And so that's the one that has the weight. That's the one that has the real value. The fact that you eat because you're hungry cannot compensate for that real thing. That real thing's still there. When you satisfy your hunger, you satisfy your deprivation. You don't create something of value that can compensate for that real pain, moron. Well, this was sort of entertaining.
To not suffer the needing anymore. Why not do that? Well, let's just end it.
Wait, let's just go back a little.
If the need doesn't need to exist. Okay, then fine. Then genetically engineer ourselves to not suffer the needing anymore. Why not do that?
Yeah, so he says, at least he dealt with the question. It was the guy asked the simple question, the need doesn't need to exist, right? So why create the need? And his answer to it is okay, fine. So we have to genetically engineer ourselves not to need. Right? I mean, I already don't need to perpetuate. I don't need to create a copy of myself. Why do we have to genetically engineer people to not need to have a baby? It's not that big a fucking goddamn deal. I think we should be able to come up with a pill even. That could just say, take the pill and babies will be a little smelly and repulsive. I mean, there's probably got to be some simpler way than genetically engineering us not to have babies. I mean, it can't be that fucking hard. I mean, so that's kind of silly. But he just conceded the point, though, right? It's okay. Antinatalism is okay. We just have to just genetically engineer people to know that they don't need to reproduce. You know, I mean, God, what a fucking idiot. So, yeah, thank you. I'm glad you agree. All right, 1:29. So he's just arguing now about this. We're just back to the same argument, that he's just ignoring the basic math of the anti-natalist position, which is that in the zero state, you don't lose. And that not losing is effectively the same as winning. If you're not losing, you're winning, right? I mean, that's the only two choices there are. There's winning and there's losing. If you're not losing, you're winning. You know, and so he's just basically, again, just making the rationalization that somehow our pleasures are worth the pains. So the suffering that's endured, the billions of years of animal carnage, all this shit is worth it. We're doing something, our pleasures, our little orgasms, our little happy meals are worth what is being paid for it. And desire, addiction, this thing, this compulsion to have, to want, that's not perverting the scales. That hasn't made people think they're accomplishing more than they are. And that's the simple argument here. And that's, I think, obviously it's bullshit. I think until you deal with the fact that desire, addiction, has completely perverted a fair balance, and until you deal with the fact that hunger is what creates the perception of value, that you have to want it, and that wanting is itself a deprivating state, you're just not going to be able to make a rational argument. You're certainly not going to convince me that we're accomplishing something because we're satisfying a deprivation. That is not accomplishing. That's not a +1. All right, at 2:13, and, you know, again, just skirted issues. He says, I want to live. Again, this isn't about whether you live or not, asshole. It's about procreation. You're just going to keep ignoring that point. Okay? It's about creating a new Frankenstein monster and whether that's the right thing to do or not. Should we make another Frankenstein? Is there some reason to do it? Reason. A logical reason. Not a penis reason, not a stomach reason, a logical reason. So it's not about your existence, asshole. No one's taking anything away from your existence except maybe the possibility that you could play with babies or something. What else? Well, we'll move on. All right, here at 2:58. So he makes a small concession to the fact that, yeah, like Piero, he's doing this. I'd be all for you having the right to die, but I'm on board on that. I don't think we have to put that in place first. We can make Frankensteins without fixing that problem first. And of course, though, you have to do the 18 years first. You have to sit there and go to prison for 12 years, get indoctrinated into the system, get a real horniness for some pussy and all the rest of it, get relationships with people and other things, and then you're obliged to make your decision to kill yourself. You can't get out right in the beginning, right when you know it's bullshit. No, we're going to sit there and tie some strings to you and make it more difficult. Even if you had a straight run to the door, there's going to be little hands holding on to you saying, please, please don't go. Please, I can't live without you being in the world. Blah, 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 blah. So you're going to have to deal with all that kind of crap even to get out, because you're going to have all these encumbrances of being here. The fungus is going to start owning you. The longer you're in the living world, the more obligated you're going to be to hang around. There are going to be little homeless cats that are going to depend on you waking up tomorrow and feeding them. Fucker. All right. Yeah, we really can't get too far. 3:26. It's just one moronism after another moronism. So now he's just saying that we call you pigs and sadistic motherfuckers and morons and jackasses, and we say we hate your motherfucking pig guts because it's a rhetorical advantage. No. I say I hate you. I hate your values. I hate what you represent. I hate the puke that comes out of your fucking mouth. Okay? I can't stand it because it's evil. It's nasty, evil fucking shit. You might as well be wearing a little Hitler mustache in my brain, okay? You are the cause of suffering, all right? Because you don't even know that suffering exists. You think it's a fucking, it's just a pattern on a little piece of a chip, right? I got this little SD card over here. That's all suffering is. It's just an SD card. It's not a real thing that's experienced by a consciousness. No, it's just a digital pattern on electrical matrix. fucking retard. Why the fuck shouldn't I hate somebody who can't tell the difference between a baby elephant and an SD card? Fuck you. I hate your guts. That's why I say I hate your guts. It's not rhetorical crap. It's not a scheme. It's not my rhetoric plan. No, I hate your fucking guts.
That's what I believe, psychologically. You're only saying these things because you believe it gives you objective truth and rhetorical authority. But it doesn't, okay? It doesn't give you that rhetorical authority. It doesn't give you that oomph you need to convince people to support you in helping people to kill themselves.
There we go again. You just can't. Not for one goddamn minute can you be fucking honest to the argument. Right? You just can't do it. It's impossible. You're such a lying, cheating, motherfucking pile of shit. You just can't intellectually help it. Every fucking time you have to resort to saying this is about telling people to kill themselves, or this is telling people to be miserable, or this is telling people to be mopey and sad and unhappy. No, it's not about doing any of that shit. It's just saying to people, find something else to do besides making another Frankenstein monster. Go fucking play the harp. Go do something, rub something, play with something, but don't make a baby, you dumb fucking cunt. That's what we're saying, you stupid shit. And you gotta get that right, because that's the fucking whole goddamn subject, you shithead. This isn't about kill people. This isn't about make people sad. No, it's about not having motherfucking babies. You stupid shit. So we're at like 4 minutes 43. He's conceded that nature's completely out of control, always has been. And again, but no justification why a rational brain wouldn't say, well, why would I want to be the product of, or why would I want to perpetuate, or why would I endorse, or why would I leave alone an experiment that's out of control? A rational brain does not leave something out of control. That's not what rational things do. What rational things do is they say we're either going to control it or we're going to stop it. All right? We're not going to leave it out of control. Only a moron does that. A retard does that. A selfish jackass does that. A simpleton does that. A rational, thinking brain doesn't like out of control. It's not a good fucking thing. Alright, this is another laughable part here at 5:41. He actually says we're the ones capable of being custodians because we basically have risen above the natural paradigm. We're able to do this logic thing so we can escape nature's uncontrollable, idiotic paradigm. But that's exactly my point. Okay, what does a responsible janitor do? That's right, he just cleans the mess up. All right, that's what a custodian does. He cleans up shit. He fixes shit. And the fix for this problem is simple and obvious. Don't make Frankensteins, you won't have Frankensteins. Yeah, not complicated. Alright, so now he just called Morbid Atheist guy making straw man argument because he brought up the gift thing. Like it's a gift of life. It's not it's an imposition. Great Tex's answer to that is absolutely nothing. He just calls it a straw man. Now, the point is that a gift comes without strings. A gift, you don't give somebody the gift of, here, have my credit card. It's, $10,000 in debt. Yeah, happy gift. No, you don't do that. You don't give somebody a gift that has huge strings tied to it. You don't give them the gift of whatever, a rebate or something. Yeah, fill out the rebate card. Fuck you, okay? It's a shabby, crappy piece of shit. All right, until you make it better than a shabby, crappy piece of shit, which there's no evidence of anybody doing, you have no right to give it to anybody.
Dwell on the good things and ignore the bad things. I'm not saying that. I'm saying let's be realistic.
No. That's exactly what you're saying. You're saying that when you've done the calculations, the goods outweigh the bads. You're saying it quite clearly. You don't make another Frankenstein unless you think Frankenstein's working, that overall it's a functional machine. All right? You don't make another one unless you think so. So that's exactly what you're saying, Gray Tex. You can't back out of that fucking simple premise. You do the math, you say the goods outweigh the bads. All right? I say the bads way outweigh the goods, and the only thing that makes anybody capable of seeing it any other way is their fucking addiction, their fucking hunger. If If it wasn't for their hunger, this piles of shit that they're shoving into their gob, okay, wouldn't have any meaning to them whatso-fucking-ever. Ooh, now he got slimy, really super slimy again at 128. Now he's saying again, we can't do it for ourselves, so how can we convince anybody else to do it? Again, like we're supposed to kill ourselves to make the more effective argument. So if I kill myself, I'll be able to make so much better an argument, because I'll be able to say, see, look, I killed myself, no big deal. And like I'm advocating that anybody has to kill themselves. Nobody's arguing for killing anybody, Great Text, you dumb shit. How many times do people have to say to you, it's about procreation? All right, yeah, they ought to just change it. Look, I don't like the whole anti-natalist word. They ought to just say anti-procreation, okay? Anti-perpetuation. It has nothing to do with you living out your little stupid, wanky, little bullshit, wormy, skirmy, maggot life, okay? It has to do with the fact of perpetuating it into some sort of unknown and deeply in jeopardy future, jackass. And again, he made the same argument that, oh, human beings are going to be able to solve their problems. It's so obvious that we can solve all these problems. Yeah, no, it's obvious we won't solve them, and we can't solve them.
Yeah, don't ask them if they actually want to do something with their lives, or if they have dreams, or if they actually enjoy what they're doing. And just don't bother asking them. They're addicted to a game. You're the rational one. You're the one that decides whether their life is valuable or not.
So again, he's talking about killing people again. Look, me personally, I've said it, okay? Red button was in my hand. I would grab the opportunity. I know it's unethical to be so presumptuous to do it, okay? In a world of 7 billion people, like I should have the right. But I'm just saying, if I had the power, I'm pressing the button because the danger is that great. It's like if you're having dinner with smallpox, you just don't fuck around. You figure out how to stick your fork in smallpox's eye. Okay? And that's what this living thing is. It can go nowhere. It is a virus. It's an infestation. Okay? A cannibalistic infestation. It's nothing else. Nothing good can come of this shit. Alright? It is just a malicious, nasty piece of chemistry. It is the worst acid, the worst corrosive, the worst, it's just just garbage, just crappy shit that just invades, capitalizes Borg. It's super Borg. It's double Borg. It's Borg times affinity. It's the ultimate Borg. And you're defending it. Oh, yeah, I'm Darth Vader's whore. I love Darth Vader, and I love the Empire Borg, the DNA Empire. Ooh, I love it. Ooh. Alright, thankfully we're getting towards the end. So anyway, yeah, I thought there was a little great line by Derived Energy where he called procreation morally problematic, which I just think is just great rhetoric. And so Great Text is basically ranting now how, no, it's morally problematic not to give people their welfare and give them their free bread and force one guy to work for another guy. And, yeah, that's moral. No, what's morally problematic is the entire matrix that we're made out of, you dumb fuck. The mouth, penis, the whole game thing. Yeah, there's no theory behind this whole mechanism. This whole game of chess is circularly stupid. It goes nowhere. It accomplishes nothing. It just eats pawns. It's just teeth in the great white shark. Just rotate a new set of teeth. Just keep rotating the new tooth. Just keep rotating a new tooth. That's all you're fucking doing, and that's all you're advocating for, moron, is just to keep recycling a bunch of disposables into their use-them-up position. And that's all this game can produce. It has no other capacity. It can't fly to France. It's not going to write Shakespeare. It's not going to do any of that shit. It's just going to accomplish absolutely motherfucking nothing. I mean universal Shakespeare. You know, some like triple Shakespeare.
But casting.
Okay, now the moron is basically trying to make some kind of argument that this anti-natalist conversation is somehow a waste of time. Like, even if you couldn't gain the full objective, that somehow it would be a bad thing to do to reduce human population. No, that's probably one of the most productive things you can do. So if you can reduce human population by convincing people, by just talking about the fact that life is really stupid and unproductive, and then you find something else to entertain yourself with, and if we can get people to understand that, yeah, having a baby is basically an imposition, that you're responsible for every implication of their existence, you're responsible for their grandchild who's going to have cancer, you're responsible for all of the implications of that behavior. All those thoughts I think are very positive, okay, in terms of making people more responsible and more capable of understanding that their life has an impact, that they're not living here for free, that it is built on millions of years of animals ripping the skins off of other animals and this whole DNA thing. So all of this conversation, in my opinion, is highly productive, and what is highly unproductive is this little balloon chasing, pink balloon, pink balloon, pink balloon, fantasy bullshit. Solve real problems like, I need better potato chips. I mean, that's all you're saying. You're not saying anything real. You're not solving anything. You're just blowing smoke up the ass of the very assholes, the very sadistic motherfuckers, I don't give a shitters. Okay, you're just empowering them with your rhetoric that sentience is just neurological patterns. You don't have to worry about the consequences of your act. Go ahead and eat a fucking cow. Who the fuck cares? I mean, what good is your rhetoric, asshole? Your rhetoric just feeds the enemy, you stupid fucking putz. All right, so we're done. The last argument was basically the argument that, look, we're doomed anyway. The cleaner, the quicker, the more rationally we get out of this boat, the better off we're going to be. If we just keep sailing it, it's going to sink. It's going to hit the iceberg. It's going to be a big fucking mess. So let's be sensible about it. Let's take our time, do it right, clean up the mess. Let's do it rationally. Let's not wait for the comet to do it. Let's not wait for some environmental disaster to do it. Let's not wait for AIDS to do it. Let's not wait for preposterous overpopulation on the planet to do it. No, let's just rationally do it. So his argument is basically that somehow there's this realistic hope that the human race is going to do something good. Okay? I mean, everything throughout, all the momentum moving towards this now moment is littered with tons and tons of bad. We've got a couple of good things. I mean, we did some good medicine stuff, we did some anti-slavery stuff, we did some women's rights stuff, and we're sort of almost doing the homosexuality thing, and some of the racism, we're getting a little better. But the rest of it's all downside. The rest of it's all way reckless, sloppy, overpopulation, Fukushima, Libya. We can go right on down the list of the horrors we're setting ourselves up for. Okay, no fucking rational policy whatsoever. No Hoover dams being built anymore. That's the shame of it all. Okay, it's going to be a big, fat, horrible, goddamn mess. There's no evidence that human beings are going to become a decent, elegant, reasonable, rational, unselfish creatures. They're just plain shit on top of a big pile of shit. We are the shit on top of a big pile of shit. It's like a shit cream cone. Okay, and we're the little almost cherry-shaped shit on top of the big blob of shit in the shit cone.